I got a message out of the blue saying, hey, do you want to do some really, really old music that's never been recorded before, that sounds kind of like it's a mix between Arabic and Mediterranean music? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
The Idrîsî Ensemble is a collective of instrumentalists and vocalists who work on medieval and new repertoire.
It's an experiment in reviving some very old music in a way that is informed but not constrained by our minds and how they have been influenced by what's happened between now and then.
This week we've been learning Old Roman chant, and especially the Greek Alleluias. Old Roman chant is already an extremely precious repertoire, but the Greek Alleluias are this special treasure within the repertoire. They are in Greek, and therefore they date back to the 4th and the 5th centuries, when the entire liturgy was sung in Greek. Old Roman chant, we call it Roman, but really it is the culmination of all the wisdom that the ancient Mediterranean had to offer. It was sung by many different types of people. It was the official liturgy of Rome until the 13th century, and when it was replaced by Romano-Frankish chant, what would eventually become Gregorian chant in the 19th century.
A lot of this work is actually kind of understanding, because it's an oral tradition. There's no true scores. A lot of the scores that we're using are from the memories of priests in the 11th or 12th century who kind of heard something somewhere and they're like, what does that kind of sound like? And we're just penciling things in. And then, Thomas and Marcel Perez, who's one of the preeminent scholars in this in France, they spent, lots of time. Marcel Perez probably spent like nearly half of his life, 50 plus years, probably looking at this kind of music, understanding the different modes and the different scales that are used. So, my working relationship with this was really just kind of first immersing myself in this sound world. It's very different because you can very easily kind of get pulled too far east, or you can get pulled too far west, and you want to kind of sit right in the middle, and that's where this music really thrives.
I don't come from a classical background, so it was very new to me. It demanded a lot of work from me to be able to sing it, so at first I was very intrigued, and over time I became obsessed, I would say, and it kind of took over my life. And it sort of itched something that a desire that I had already to connect with something that maybe humanly I had, but socially I had lost.
This music requires a state of mind. It's not something you can kind of fall in and out of. It's very holistic, and I think having a space to rehearse and live at the same time and kind of immerse ourselves in this experience is kind of incredibly valuable for this music. It's like there's no better place.
This work has to happen over years, and this is why Snape Maltings is so amazing for us, because we can rehearse in a beautiful space that is really conducive to the exploration of this repertoire, this very meditative repertoire, and we can really try and enter this world. It's a very different way of being in time, of being with each other. And this is very hard to recreate in London.
It's massively inspiring to be around a place like this, with its history and the amount of artists that have gone through those buildings. It really matches the atmosphere of what we are
we're trying to do as an ensemble. It's giving us an opportunity to delve deeper into the medieval world